Hello and thanks for stopping by, everybody. I've had a bit of a respiratory for a while. I went ahead and I'm not too steady on my feet and so forth, but thought I'd do a quick video for you guys. And of course some people think I'm nuts doing what I do. I even called S&S. Now they don't. And I'm talking about the actual springs, return springs. You got one on the north, you got one on the rear, one on the front. Holly neglected to do that on the early ones they were selling for the minivans. And I found they would wear out the shaft bearing, so it would let in air, and you get too much air, not enough gas. So maybe they was thinking this, and it's also a drag. I mean, the S&S was designed for drag racing, and you wanted strong springs, in case something happened. And you're only going 1/8 of a mile, maybe a quarter at a time. But for me, the tension was too much. I was having to go ahead and after the miles I was putting on it, going ahead and adjusting this. Good or bad, it's not a cruise control, So what I went ahead and did, after asking a lot of questions, as you can see here, I took off I tried both ways, one with changing this spring or removing it, keeping the one over on the right or the front. They do the same thing. They return the butterfly back to its closed position. But, so I ended up taking and putting that one back on, leaving this one off, and I got a whole box full of springs. So I drilled a small hole right there in the perch and hooked it underneath here. Here's what it does. I tried it first with it here, but it didn't come to play right off the bat. So I noticed as I was riding the throttle, the hand, every little input, and I understand why they had that, mainly, and then two springs and all, to have two springs, one in case one fails. So that's why I didn't just stick with the one. Like I say, I called S&S and they said, yeah, we do get a lot of calls, but we don't make any springs that are lighter weight. And they're pretty much specific springs, size, the way things are done and twisted and tension. So that's why I went ahead and, I've been working on it and tinkering with it back and forth for a while. And even if you used the 2 cable, it wouldn't interfere. I just happened to have the 1 cable. I even told him, I remember I used to have the Bendix and just had the wire that came down. And you pulled and pushed, pulled and pushed. There was no return spring, none that I remember. But I ended up putting the spokes that I picked up, and I'm just going to leave the tire I got on there now. I think I got it for $17. I think it was 17. I mean, shipping was 45, but I ended up putting 2. Better turn my light on. There we go. I put in two spacers on this side, and they're about 48 to 52,000 is what they are. That's a common, and I only did this because I couldn't offset. And maybe you can't see the one up there. Let me see if I can see it. There, maybe. Let's go this way. Now there's 4 behind there, so that's about 200,000ths of an inch. That brings my tire over this way. It's still offset that way a little bit, and a lot of them are, even from the factory, is because you got the weight of the primary. I was getting a lot of those more experienced folks that I know say they're often offset to the left because you got the primary over there, which is the extra weight. But you got to make sure the chain's running straight. and then work from there. Now I was going to adjust all the spokes and bring the loosen them up on that side, tighten them up on this side to bring the tire this way. Well, it worked pretty good for a while, but they've been in place for a while and they're a little rusty. Well, lo and behold, one broke. Now I've run one without one broken spoke. I had a 75 I did, but I thought I'd try. And I just went, it was broke down inside there. So I just went ahead and welded it. And we'll see how good it holds, you know. I mean, I wouldn't do 4, 5, or 6 of them, but, you know, it's like one finger on a hand. One finger can kind of be a little boogered up, and I got a few of those. The rest of the hand does fine. So, but yeah, I threw that in there. Someday if I ever pick up some all new spokes, that'd be the best. But for now, I've been putting money bing, bing, bing at this bike just to get it, you know. And it ain't cheap doing stuff like that sometimes. So I just, eventually what I was thinking even is putting a CV carburetor on there, but I don't have an adapter, so I ain't going to spend money on an adapter. So for now, that's how it is. Yeah, I don't know. My upper respiratory thing never really had it before. Nothing, you know. But, I guess I can turn the thingy on. There we go. But, who knows why? Maybe it's exploring in dirty old buildings. Should have thought wear a mask, you know. I don't know what it is. A month or so ago, my son was in town, and my wife kind of had that upper respiratory that whole weekend. And she doesn't go other than to the market and doing all the gardening and all that stuff. So, I don't know. Yeah. So anyway, I called the doctor, and then, well, you know, and then they say, well, text him. And the nurse texts me back, and you have to text your whole, what your problem is, and then I thought maybe an antibiotic or something, but who knows. So they give me this spritz I put, you know, in my lungs. I'm doing it, you know, every 4 hours. So, and then I said, well, you know, should I call you back? I mean, oh yeah, call us back if it don't work. Well, how long? A week? A month? You know? You got to pull this information out of them. I mean, look, I'm not the doctor. I'm not the nurse. I look to you guys. I mean, he's a good doctor. He's a internist for senior. He was recommended by a good friend of mine who's my wife and my eye doctor here in town, Dr. Gerber. And he's Dr. Gerber's doctor. So you think a doctor's good when a doctor goes to that doctor. So yeah, he is good. He seems to be. I mean, he's one of those hands-on doctors, not one that sits you down and asks you how's your feelings and all this kind of stuff. I had one of those. Great guy, younger guy. But, you know, there was no physical. You know, it was like, you know, I mean, he's an old school doctor, you know, kind that hits you in the leg with a hammer, you know, and the whole 9 yards. That's what I'm used to. You know, don't worry, you're not going to offend me, you know. So, well, hopefully I feel better. I am feeling better. It's night when I lay down, you know, it's... and then, you know, so if I could sleep upright like a horse, I'd be good. I think I'd be, you know. So, but anyway, every day I get out and about on the bike, do something on the bike. It keeps my spirits up, that kind of thing, you know. So, let's see. I got a couple more videos of Robertsons. I did them all in one day, so hope you guys like them. They're kind of fun to do. I don't have access to old buildings like I used to, but I know Brian down there. Him and I used to do all kinds of stuff together. Wiring, plumbing, kitchens, baths. We used to work back and forth, do all kinds of stuff on the side. We always had a regular job. But he's been down there. He'll probably retire from down there probably in about 10 years, maybe less, because he's probably about 10 years younger than me. So I'll catch you guys later. Hope you're having fun this summer on your bikes. Be safe, be careful. I almost hate watching the news because some of the stuff I see. But I try and keep positive if all possible. So, peace, and well, catch you guys later.